Today on Home Theater Fanatics, we're going to take a look at the topping E30 DAC. Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're going to take a look at the topping E30 DAC. And DAC, that stands for Digital to Analog Converter. If you're not familiar with what a DAC does, that takes all of your digital content, maybe a streamed file or a file that you have on your computer, and converts that from digital to analog. And analog, you might carry over RCA cables or XLR, right? So it's the tool that makes that conversion from one to the other. Now, the quality of your DAC obviously will impact the quality of the sound that you hear. And today we're going to take a look at this E30 from Topping, which is considered to be an entry level or a budget level DAC for only 130 bucks. But I think you're going to be pretty impressed, exactly as I've been, with how this unit performs. Before we get started, I want to give a shout out to apos.audio. They're a new website selling DACs, preamps, amplifiers, other gear, and they provided this to me for review. So many thanks, guys, because this turned out to be a really, really cool device that I'm using on the daily now. This DAC is pretty small, and in the box, you're going to have the actual unit itself, a remote control, which is kind of interesting because I don't really use it for very much. And then a couple of cables. You've got power and then a cable to connect from your source device to this for USB. On the rear of the unit, that's where the real fun is. You've got your analog left and right out, coax, optical in, and USB. Beside that, you've got your power. Now, the power cord is interesting. What they include is this unit, but it's just USB, right? So there's no brick that comes with it, so that's up to you to provide. Now, you can plug this into a little power bank, a little battery if you want to, and power it that way. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can. But just remember, you'll need to provide that piece if you're going to get this thing going. Now, when you flip around to the front of the unit, this is actually a touch screen. And it's really cool. The display is really, really nice. And if you do a long hold, it'll turn it back off and you have this little glowing dot to let you know that the power is still flowing. And a single touch then turns it back on. As you can see now, you're getting error because I don't have anything plugged into the USB input, or any of the inputs actually. But you can use the select or power button to then go from USB to optical to coax, and then back to USB. So the functionality of this is really, really straightforward, really, really easy. Most source devices will immediately recognize this. So you'll simply plug a USB cable into your source and then the other side of the USB cable into the back of this unit, and that will carry all of your audio information. One thing that's also quite interesting about this unit is that it can function as a preamp. So you can put this into what's called preamp mode, and there are two different modes, preamp and then DAC. Preamp will then allow you to control the volume. So you could use something like this to go source, DAC, and then out to an amplifier, and then to your speakers, and then control the volume here. Maybe you just jack up your amp all the way so you wouldn't have to worry about adjusting that on the fly. So this is a really flexible little unit. Now let's move on to the remote control. I don't really use the remote much because I don't use the unit in preamp mode. I only use it as a DAC. But if you did use it in preamp mode, you would use your volume up and down buttons quite a bit. One other button that's interesting on this unit is this FIR, or filter button. The filter changes the way that the DAC reproduces or converts digital to analog audio, but I believe it only is impactful above 20,000 hertz. So there are a bunch of different filter modes. So let's tap to turn this on. You'll see everything light up and come back to life. And if you hit filter, there are 6 different filter modes. And the default is filter mode number 3. I've cycled through all of these and I've not been able to tell any difference in the filter modes. So, you know, maybe you'll have different luck, but I do believe this is probably all outside of the range of normal human hearing. So fairly ineffective for anything that you'll notice on a day-to-day basis. Let's talk about use cases for this DAC. And there are 3 that really come to mind for me. One is being used as some type of headphone DAC. Second would be using this with your computer as a higher end DAC than what you've got in your machine. And then third would be using this in a full blown either 2-channel or multi-channel environment as an analog source input. The cabling for all three scenarios is going to be similar. So you'll have some kind of source, digital source, that's going to output via either USB, coax, or optical cable, and you'll run that cable from your source into the back of the DAC. So the source will plug into one of these three different inputs, depending on what kind of cable that you're going to be using. You'll then run this unit left, right out back into your amplification. And that could either be a headphone amplifier or a larger standalone amp for external speakers for your television, your computer, or in a 2-channel listening environment. So it's really straightforward and really easy to use the DAC. A few more details about the DAC. The one that I have here is black, but they also have a silver colored version that's pretty hot. And I've kind of started to slide from black into silver components, especially in 2-channel world. And I'm using this in my 2-channel environment here at home, and it does a great job. The sound from this DAC is very neutral. So I couldn't tell you that the DAC was in line at all. I mean, it doesn't seem like it changes the sound any. So maybe you would call that a transparent device, but it doesn't color things in any way that I can tell, which is good, right? That's what I want my DAC to do. I want it to simply take digital and turn it into analog and not color it in any way. If I want to do that, I'll get some kind of EQ device and do that for me. I don't really want to do that in DAC. Also, it's really interesting to note that this thing's only $130. So for most people, I don't know that you're ever going to want to buy another one. I mean, this is your first DAC, and it could be your last DAC as well. There are lots of other options out there if you want to spend more money, but if you're looking for something that doesn't impact your sound in a negative way, and it does the job that it's supposed to do, I really, really highly recommend this. Now, if you need some more advanced features, and the first one that comes to mind really is XLR transport, this one is not the one. As you can see on the back, all you've got are RCAs, so that's not going to do it if you want to use XLR cabling. You can use conversion cables and that kind of stuff, but I think most people, if you're going to use XLR, you really want to have just the balanced cable all the way through, so this won't really meet those needs. So in final summation, this is an awesome DAC. It's small, it looks great, the display is wonderful, the touchscreen button works very, very well. It can work as a preamp or DAC only, and in preamp mode, you can use your remote control to control volume. So it's very flexible. The cost is extremely aggressive. So considering the cost, the functionality, and ease of use, I give it 2 thumbs up, which is all my thumbs. So I hope you've enjoyed watching the video and the review today. If you've enjoyed it, please like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. And as always, we'll see you in the next video.